Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Valentin Dish. In a shocking move, the Kalangut Police Inspector Paresh Naik has been transferred to the Goa Reserve Police within 24 hours of him sealing the nightclub downtown and arrested bouncers who beat up two local youth. It is reported that the owners of the nightclub from New Delhi and the possibility of them having contact with local IPS officers cannot be ruled out. This is a clear case of interference in policing and targeting of sincere officers. Goa has become like Mirzapur and the Home Minister needs to be changed, Advocate Amit Palekar said.
Two brothers Akash and Aman Arlekar from Kanka were beaten up by bouncers on Saturday night at downtown club in Baga Lane. On Monday, a large number of locals including family members gathered outside the police station and demand action against the bouncers and the nightclub. However, after Kalangute police sealed the club, Paresh Naik was transferred within 24 hours.
दोन्ही चेडक मारलं ते आता आनी कितें करपाचें ह्या पुलिसांक तांकां हें करपाक जायना तांकां सोडून दिलें तेंच्यांनी आनी हांव आतां कितें करूं तेंचे कडेन जायना न्हू तेणी आमचे कडेन दिवपाचें तांकां कितें बुद्धी आमी शिकयता जायना न्हू
सिनियर साहेबान बरोवन दिवनी आपल्याकडे केस हँडल जायना फुडले केस आमी पळयता डायरेक्ट सांगता
तुम्ही खंयचे
आमी म्हापसाचे
वेल्ल्या काणके
आम्ही त्याका जोपून घेतला आणि त्याच्या ऐकून जर त्याका कितें जाल्लें कितें करतले असली दोनूय जातले सांगूंक ना कोणाक बसलो असलो तो बसतलो असलो बसचो नासलो
आणि व्हिडिओचेर क्लियर या दाणे घेवन 21 जाण आणि त्यांच्यानी हाडल्या फक्त 30 जाणां
हाडल्या बाकीचे खंय
तांकां मिस जाले त्यांची इन्क्वायरी करा खंय चालू अरे म्हाका सांग तुजो स्टाफ काम करता तेंच्यानी कॉन्टॅक्ट नंबर हे तांकां सपोर्ट करता मेन म्हणटा पुलीस रिपोर्ट क्लबाकडे कोणाकडे ना पुलीस कार्ड कोणाकडे ना मॅनेजर डायरेक्ट कोण सगळे पुलीस कार्ड दी म्हणून तेंच्याकडे म्हणटा आपल्याला नंबर ना अर्धी नांवां दिया थंयसर एक कितें नाकाल्ले चल्ला आमच्या गांवांत भाड्यान दवरले हांगा पुलीस कार्ड जाय पडटा सगळ्यांक कोणूच ना सकाळी मेरेन ते पुलिसान तांकां हाडले एक कांजी काय घेवंक ना डिटेल घेवंक ना काय तुम्ही खंय रावता कितें कांयच घेवंक ना आमचे सगळे घेतले तेंच्यातून कांयच घेवंक ना तेंचो मेन ओनर येयलो तो कोण तो धर्मेंद्र कोण तो येयलो मेन तेंचो पाजी येयलो तो येयलो हांगा भितर रावलो आनी आपूण म्हणलो चायेक वयता मेन तोच मेन कल्पेट तो तेणी सांगला मार म्हणून सगळ्यांक हय पेपर स्प्रे मारला तो मेन ओनर तो सांगले व्हिडिओ सगळे हाड आणि साहेब सांगता आमकां तो चायेक वयता खंय अरे तो मारपी तो चायेक वयता साहेब कोल्लो साहेब तो चायेक धाडटी तेका कंप्लेंट घेतलेली पण एक्शन काय ना कंप्लेंटीचेर काय ना ओके आणि तेणी निमित्त कितें सांगलें खबर आहा तेका मी जालो तो खंय तो म्हणटा आपूण तो वॉशमान गेलो अकाउंट घेवपाक तो गेलो आसतो म्हाका सांग पुलीस डायरेक्ट पुलीस ते धडले पुलीस स्टेशन तो म्हणटा आपूण तो वॉशमान गेलो खंय आतां तो वॉशमान गेलो म्हणजे पुलीस आनी कोणूच ना हँडओवर कोणाकूच म्हणजे एकलो देव सांबाळतो लागते पुलीस स्टेशन हेजो स्टेटमेंट आमकां दिता आपल्याक खबर ना खंय तो केन्ना गेलो तो व्हिडिओचेर हांव तांकां आडयता हांव तांकां सांगता बाबा ह्यो न्हू तो मी कोणाक मारूंक सोदता ह्यो न्हू व्हिडिओचेर सांगता क्लियरी हांव तांकां आडयता दोन क्लबांनी हांवें ताका आडयला थंयसर हांव ह्यो न्हू कळत आयकना ना म्हणटा मुस्को मार्के उडायका म्हणटा आनी डायरेक्ट दाणे वचून आहा तेंचे पायपाक वचून व्हिडिओ सगळे फुटेज तांकां रिजन कितें मेळ्ळा खबर आहा हेणी ब्लॅक घातला म्हणून म्हाका हांगासर लागला 15 पदां पडलेली आहा हातीक लागला हांगा मारला फाटल्यान मारला दोळ्यार मारला
दोळ्याचे दाखय मातशे ते घेत
लॉ अँड ऑर्डराचे आमी जेन्ना विशय उलयता, आमी जेन्ना पुलिसिंगाचे विशय उलयता तेन्ना खंय तरी इंटरवेन्शन इंटरफियरन्स ऑफ गव्हर्मेंट इन पुलिसिंग हे दिसून येता आनी हें गोंया खातीर मारक. मागीर आमी हिंदू आसूं, मुस्लीम आसूं, कॅथलीक आसूं, प्रत्येकाक एक गोश्ट लक्षात घेवपाची गरज आसा की आयज म्हाका, फाल्यां तुका, आनी ह्या जाग्यार कोणीय आसपाक शकता. आज जर पुलिसिंग इंडिपेंडंटली वागपाक शकचें ना आनी शकपाक जायना आनी शक्य तांकां जर जायना जाल्यार इट इज नॉट अ गुड सायन फॉर द स्टेट ऑफ गोवा. म्हाका दिसता गोंयकारांनी जागे जावचे पडटले, गोंयकारांनी सुदारचें पडटलें. हांव म्हणटा गोंयकारांनी सुदारचें अशाक पडटलें, कारण प्रत्येकाक दिसता म्हाका कितें पडलां काय म्हणून. ही परिस्थिती आज गोंयची जाल्या. त्या ज्या भुरग्यांक काल बाउन्सरांनी मारले, आमी ताचे CCTV फुटेज पळयल्या. आज तुमचे कडेन म्हाका दिसता ती आसा, ताजे आमी फोटोग्राफ पळयल्या. दाणे घेवन बाउन्सर जे क्लबाचे तांच्या फाटल्यान धांवता आनी तांकां मारता, लोकांक मारबडय करता आनी आमचो सरकार ओगी बसता. हाचे बद्दल म्हाका दिसता हाचे पेक्षा आनी दुसरी वायट गजाल गोंयांत घडूंक शकना. सो लेट अस प्रे टू गॉड. आमच्या देवी कडेन, आमच्या देवां कडेन, सगळ्यां कडेन आमी एक मागणी करुया की सरकाराक एक सुबुद्धी दिवं की गोंयची कायदा सुवेवस्था हाचे पेक्षा वायट जावची न्ही. हांवें म्हणलां गोवा इज टर्निंग इंटू मिर्झापूर ज्या कोणी पळयला आसत तांकां खबर आसतली गोंयची परिस्थिती मिर्झापुरा पेक्षा वेगळी ना. आनी हे मिर्झापूर करपाक आमचो चीफ मिनिस्टर, हू इज ऑल्सो होम मिनिस्टर, PWD मिनिस्टर, सरकाराची सगळी खात ती ताणें आपल्या कडेन दवरल्या. तो जबाबदार आसा अशें आमकां खंय तरी दिसूंक लागला आनी आमी मागणी करता की चीफ मिनिस्टराचो, म्हाका दिसता चीफ मिनिस्टर बदलपाची गोंयाक आज गरज आसा, कारण ही हॅज फेल्ड एब्सोल्युटली ऑन ऑल फ्रंट्स एज फार एज गोवा.
Sunburn may be a famed music festival of Asia, but it is a major problem creator and a nuisance to Goans and to the state of Goa. The trail of deaths, crimes, robberies, traffic jams and failure to pay dues to the government and the Anjana Panchayat has made it a web of controversies galore and a worry for Goans. Memories of a 23-year-old Meha Bahuguna collapsing and dying due to suspected drug overdose during the 2010 edition of Sunburn flash back in the minds of Goans.
Sunburn is a music festival with scores of controversies and a festival which Goans dread. It brings haunting memories of repetitive music that is played at the EDM festivals, which many allege promotes drug use. Memories of 23-year-old Meha Bahuguna collapsing and dying due to suspected drug overdose during the 2010 are still fresh. Sandeep Kotta, 24, a resident of Bengaluru, was shifted to hospital in an unconscious state from the Sunburn venue at Vegeta in Goa on 31st December 2019 evening but died while undergoing treatment. In the same year, two friends Sai Prasad Mallela and Venkat Satyanarayan, both from Andhra Pradesh, collapsed while waiting in a queue to enter the venue and were declared dead on arrival at the hospital. Just last year in 2023, a girl who was suspected to be badly intoxicated at Sunburn of some substance and complaining of being uneasy was hospitalized in the nearby health center. For the last 3 years, numbers of gangs involved in organized crimes have stolen thousands of high-end phones for the rich. The Goa police, in fact, are extremely burdened due to these criminal activities. In addition to this, the entire traffic police force has to be diverted to the places in and around the events. Comunidad Anjuna, the custodians of the land on which Sunburn is usually held, also had to approach courts as the promoters had not paid the dues to the association, running into crores.
आमी गोंयचे फुडले पिळगे खातीर एंड कन्सर्न सिटीजन एकठांय जावन हे सनबर्न इश्यूवाचेर स्टडी केल्ली आसा. आनी हे सनबर्न आमी ते फेस्टिवल म्हणून ओपोज करिना, ताचे जे इश्यूज रिलेटेड आसात ताका लागून आमी जे टिमीन जे स्टडी केल्या ते प्रमाणे दी सनबर्न रिप्रेजेंट डिस्ट्रक्टीव एंड खराब ट्युरिजम पॉलिसीज वीच थ्रेटन आवर वेरी सर्वायवल, गोंयकारांची आयडेंटिटी, आवर कल्चरल युनीक कल्चर जे आसा तें, आवर वेल्यूज एंड वे ऑफ लायफ इज अंडर थ्रेट. त्या 4 मुद्द्यांतल्यान एक म्हळ्यार एनवायरमेंट, दुसरी म्हळ्यार आमचें सोशल एंड कल्चरल इम्पॅक्ट, थर्ड इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आनी फोर्थ पब्लीक हेल्थ, म्हणजे आमचें फ्युचर जनरेशन इज कनेक्टेड आसा हाका.
पळय पयले स्वतेर हे सनबर्नाक हांकां कोणें सांगलेले इव्हेंट कर म्हणून, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, सनबर्नाक टिकेटी सेलार दवरपाक कोणें सांगलें तांकां टिकेट सेल कर म्हणून? Who told them to sell the tickets? Did we sell? Did the villagers tell? आम्ही कोणे सांगूंक ना मरे. तिसरे हांकां खंयची परमिशन आशिल्ली सरकारा कडेन विचारला तेन्ना सरकारांनी सांगलां एप्लिकेशनां आयल्या बट परमिशन दिवंक ना. जाल्यार आतां तुमी डिफेमेशन 100 कोटीची घाला ना 500 कोटीची घाला. कळ्ळें तुका? ते डिफेमेशन घालून करता कितें? वेर वील दॅट स्टँड? तुमी आतां भिवपाचें सिस्टम दवरला काय म्हूण की सनबर्नाची केसी घालतले हांकां भिवयतले म्हणून. इट डजंट वर्क.
Sunburn has dragged Google, Facebook and X and Goan Media to court by filing an interim application before the High Court of Judicature at Bombay. Their grouse is to restrain several platforms such as Google, Facebook and X and national and local media houses from making comments on the consistently controversial electronic dance music festival.
Notices have been sent to 18 respondents including Herald. Politicians, lawyers, activists resolved to take the battle for Goa against Sunburn head-on. Opposition leader Yuri Alemao said, as elected representatives, we are concerned about certain issues and raise them for a good cause. Many people in the state are against Sunburn. AAP Goa convener and advocate Amit Palekar tweeted, I assure you all the defendants in the suit filed by Sunburn, that as an advocate and a Goan with true self-respect, I pledge to stand by all of you pro bono and defend the falsity. South Goa MP Captain Virieto Fernandez said, this is a tactic of the event organizers to try and browbeat not only in silencing the elected representative but also to muzzle the voice of the media by highlighting the wrongdoings which is having detrimental effect on Goan society. Benolim MLA Venzi Vigas said, Sunburn has been a big headache due to complaints of Durg's smoking, traffic jams and allegations of kickbacks. Velim MLA Cruz Silva said, we do not want Sunburn. We will fight the case. They can file cases against village panchayats also which have passed resolutions that they do not want Sunburn EDM. So they can file defamation cases against entire Goa.
पुलिसांक ज्या तरेन इंडिपेंडंटली काम करपाक जाय ते काम पुलिसांक करपाक मेळना. ताका लागूनच आज गोंयची परिस्थिती बिगडत चल्ल्या. ही सत्य परिस्थिती आसा. आनी आज तुम्ही आनी एक गोष्टी काल पळयल्या आसतली की सनबर्न व्हिच इज नाव ओन बाय अनदर कंपनी हॅज फायल्ड 100 crore डिफेमेशन केस आनी इंजंक्शन एप्लिकेशन बिफोर बॉम्बे हायकोर्ट इन द ओरिजिनल ज्युरिडिक्शन. सरकार जेन्ना लॅमडो आसता, सरकार जेन्ना अधाशी जाता, एक ग्रिडी जाता, तेन्ना ह्यो गजाली घडपाक शकता. कारण सनबर्न जे आज गोंयच्या छातयेर पांय धरून, गोंयच्या लोकांच्या छातयेर पांय धरून गोंयान सनबर्न म्युजीक फेस्टिवल, जे ड्रग्स अब्यूज हे ते सगळे रिलेटेड विशय जे लोकांनी घेतले, जे लोकप्रतिनिधींनी घेतले, जे आज तुमचे मिडियाच्या हावजीसांनी घेतले. म्हाका दिसता कितलेशेच तुमी हांगा आसा त्या प्रत्येकाचेर तांणी 1-2-4 जर मिडिया हावजीस सोडले जाल्यार बाकीच्या सगळ्यांक तांणी त्या गोष्टीचे त्या मॅटरान पार्टी केल्यात. लोकांक पार्टी केल्या, लोकप्रतिनिधींक पार्टी केल्या. आम आदमी पार्टीचे दोन्ही आमदार, साऊथ गोयचो MP, लिडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन, हांकां जेन्ना पार्टी करता इन अ केस ऑफ डेफमेशन वेर दे आर ओनली प्रोटेक्टिंग रायट्स ऑफ पीपल शोज फेलियर ऑफ द गव्हर्नमेंट खंय तरी.
The Goa bench of the Bombay High Court disposed the anticipatory bail application of former Goa RSS chief Subhash Velinkar, citing his full cooperation with the investigation officer and his compliance with the notice under Section 35 of the BNSS. Advocate Amit Palekar, representing the plaintiff Veli MLA Cruz Silva, stated that according to the High Court, there is no question of arrest since Velinkar has agreed for compliance. Whereas the defense lawyer stated the matter stands disposed since we have complied to the conditions and requested to expunge certain remarks made by the Additional Sessions Court judge on the merits of the case.
आज एंटीसिपेटरी बेलाचेर हियरिंग आसली, कितें जालें? कोर्टान कितें सांगिल्लें?
सी अंडर सेक्शन 35 ताका नोटीस इश्यू केली. तांणी सांगिल्लें की आपण कंप्लाय करतलो म्हणून. ही हॅज कंप्लायड विथ इट. ऑन 10th and 11th तो बिचोले पोलीस स्टेशनार गेलो, इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन जॉईन केलें. त्यामुळे देर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ अरेस्ट. दॅट इज वॉट द लॉ इज. आणि ते कंप्लायन्स केले, ते सबमिशन केले, स्टेटांनी सबमिट केले की कंप्लायन्स केला म्हणून सेक्शन 35 2ची नोटीस जी धाडिल्ली ताका. आणि एज पर दॅट सिन्स ही हॅज कंप्लायड, हायकोर्ट हॅज कम टू अ कंक्लुजन दॅट देर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ एनी फर्दर प्रोसिडींग टू कंटिन्यू. इंटरव्हेन्शन एप्लिकेशन आणि मेन एप्लिकेशन जी आसा ती आज डिस्पोज केल्या. ऑल्सो तांणी मागिल्लें की जे सेशन्स कोर्टान एडिशनल सेशन जजान जे कमेंट केल्ले ऑन मेरिट्स ऑफ द केस ते काडचे म्हणून त्या ऑर्डरांतल्यान हायकोर्ट हॅज ऑल्सो मेड ऑर्डर ऑन दॅट की हे एक्सपंज करचे म्हणून ते पर्टिक्युलर स्टेटमेंट्स एंड दोज स्टेटमेंट्स ऑन मेरिट्स हॅव बीन एक्सपंज बाय दी ऑनरेबल हायकोर्ट सो द मॅटर गेट्स डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ ही हॅज टू कंप्लाय आनीक जर पुलिसांक गरज पडत ताका आपोवपाची किंवा ताचे स्टेटमेंट रेकॉर्ड करपाची then he has to comply and cooperate with the police. That is what the today's sum up of today's proceedings is.
Went to the police station for interrogation on Thursday and Friday, and they have complied with all the conditions. As of today, the matter stands disposed of. There were certain remarks that were made in the judgment by the trial court, and we have specifically pointed them out to expunge certain remarks which changes the nature of the case and is prejudicial in nature. So that's pretty much about that.
So basically, the anticipatory bail, the court has disposed of the anticipatory bail as well as the intervention applications. Now the PP submitted that he was called on 2 occasions and he has complied with the notices. They have further stated that investigation hasn't chalu hai, and if need be they will issue a notice, and the court has directed him to comply with 35 the notice if it is issued to him again, to comply with it and come to the police station. Now besides this, the advocate for the applicant has submitted that there are certain observations made by the district court while rejecting the anticipatory bail applications which were on merit, and he pointed out those paragraphs which were based on the merits of the case, which is the correct position of law, because the merits of the case is to be decided at the final order and final judgment, when the final judgment is to be passed. So the court has directed that those specific paragraphs which are mentioned may be expunged from that order. So the court said that by the end of today's session, the court will pass a detailed order on this, and the court will that's when we'll know which paragraphs have been expunged, because the court will have to check whether they are actually based on the merits or whether they are submissions that are made. Besides that, now Willinger has to only comply as and when he is required and cooperate with the investigation. That's it. Besides that, there is no other order that is passed.
Of late, there has been a series of incidents of violence, assault and molestation in the Bardez coastal belt. Will the law and order incidents in the North Goa coastal belt have adverse impact on tourism at the beginning of the tourism season in the state?
Whether tourism will get affected because of worsening law and order situation in the north, म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता it will not have much effect, because day by day law and order situation is increasing bit by bit, number one. And the tourists from India, they are getting conditioned to the law and order situation in Goa. And most of the law and order situation is being brought mostly by people outside Goa. So they are used to it. So म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता it will not much affect the tourism industry, at least in the north, because people have accepted all this type of law and order situation are bound to happen in those areas. The question is the degree of law and order situation, and every next day is being conditioned by the tourists to come to Goa.
The law and order situation in the North Belt is very, very bad right now, and if you can see, it's only getting worse. It's definitely going to impact the tourism that's coming in, because if you see that as much as we need a lot of police force down there, there is hardly anyone monitoring and doing supervisions out over there on a regular basis. You can see the crowd flocking in from all numbers. People are drunk most of the time on the roads. There is no traffic cops, near any of the restaurants or bars or even where places where there are nightclubs. So if you see that the situation is only getting worse, and I think so law and order at present in Goa is totally gone out of hands. You can see number of issues that's happening, attacks been happening, then rapes been happening, murders been happening. It's been rampant. So the request to the Chief Minister is, the law and order is in your hands, and you're the Home Minister. So keeping that in mind, getting the force down into areas which is very, very crowded and having protocol done, especially post 10 o'clock in the night till 6 in the morning, because that's where the lot of things, crowd and the problem starts happening. And I think so this is something that the Chief Minister has to look upon, and if he can't handle it, then this is something that if he can't handle it, then he should step down from his post and resign.
ज्या पद्दतीन टुरिजम गोंयांत येता, म्हाका दिसता सेम टायम टुरिजम मिनिस्ट्री आनी होम मिनिस्ट्री हांच्यांनी एक गजाल पयली थारोवची पडटली की टुरिस्ट येता त्या टुरिस्टांक गोंयांत रुल्स एंड रेग्युलेशन आसा, कायदो आसा हें सांगचें पडटलें. आनी समजा जर टुरिस्ट कितें मस्तेपणां करता जाल्यार लॉ एंड ऑर्डर म्हणून कितें जें डिपार्टमेंट आसा पळय ताणें तांकां त्या पद्दतीन शासीत करचें पडटलें. जेन्ना केन्ना काही नाका जाल्ल्यो गोश्टी घडटा, आनी स्पेशली ते आतां मोठ्या प्रमाणान पळयता आमी नॉर्थ गोवा सायडीन, बाउन्सर चड जाल्यात आनी ते बाउन्सर कोण, तांची फाटल्यान हिस्ट्री कितें हें सांगपाची गरज आसा, लोकांक कळपाची गरज आसा. तो काही वायट एक्टिविटीजान तरी इनवॉल्व नाशिल्लो न्हय, हाजी खबरदारी पुलिसांनी घेतल्या काय, बाउन्सर म्हणून जो नेमला ताजें व्हेरिफिकेशन पुलिसांनी केलां काय, मातशी एक गरजूय आसा फायंड आवट करपाची. म्हाका दिसता बाउन्सर हो प्रकार बंद करचो पडटलो काय, कारण हाज्या नांवा सकयल काही लोक इल्लिगली बिझनेस करपाक लागल्यात.
South Goa police have arrested 2 persons who sprayed some liquid on a two-wheeler rider's face at Verna and stole 1.5 lakh rupees from his bike and made good their escape. Police formed 2 teams and traced the accused to Belgavi. The 2 accused persons are Nagraj Mohan Talve of Mangur Hill in Vasco and Pawan Yadav, also resident of Vasco da Gama.
Suddenly opened the door. One person came out of the vehicle and sprayed some sort of spray on his eyes. He was already wearing spectacles. He was also wearing a headgear helmet. So it directly did not go to his eyes, but definitely it blurred his spectacles. And in doing so, the second person came out from the driver's side, from the driver's seat, and he was pushed from his bike, as his bike being a turn and a very small road. He was very slow and he was just pushed by the side of the road. So he fell down, and then one of them took the scooter key, opened the scooter dicky, and he had a cash of 1,50,000 in the dicky. They took the cash, they just left him there and again sat in their own vehicle which they were with standing there and zoomed off. Turning up the investigation, where we rounded up both the accused, namely Nagraj Mohan Talwar, he is a resident of Mangur Hill, Vasco, and Pawan Rajbharat Yadav, he is also a resident of Vasco.
Global Koki Forum on Tuesday met Naveli MLA Ulas Tuekar as part of the campaign Kodil Zai or Romi Zai, with the demand to give equal status to Romi Lipi equivalent to Devanagari script. The MLA has given an assurance to the forum that the matter will be taken to the Chief Minister for discussion. The GKF also demanded that the Romi Lipi script to be introduced in schools in a phased manner from the 1st standard till the 10th standard.
Global Konkani Forum on Tuesday met Navelim MLA Ulhas Tuekar as a part of their campaign, Kodel Jai Wo Romi Jai, with the demand to give equal status to Romi Lipi equivalent to Devanagari script. The MLA has given an assurance to the forum that the matter will be taken to Chief Minister for discussion. GKF also demand that the Romi Lipi script to be introduced in schools in phased manner from 1st standard till 10th standard.
President Global Konkani Forum. आयज आमी आमचो MLA बाब उल्हास तुयेंकार हांगा मेवले आनीक आमी ताका एक बिल कोंकणी अमेंडमेंट इक्वल स्टेटस रोमिंग दिवचो म्हूण आनी तशेंच एक रेजोल्युशन जे इस्कॉलांनी रोमी लिपी इंट्रोड्यूस करची म्हणून इन अ फेज्ड मॅनर फ्रॉम स्टँडर्ड 1st to 10th स्टँडर्ड ही दोन्ही रेजोल्युशनां ते कडेन आमी दिल्या आनी ताणें आमकां आश्वासन दिलां की तो ही दोन्ही रेजोल्युशनां आपूण CMाशी भासाभास करतलो आनी ताजो आमकां सांगलां ताणें आपलो सहकार आहा म्हणून हे इश्यूआचेर आनी तो प्रयत्न करतलो जाता ते परवीं रोमी लिपीक मान्यताय दिवपाक. देव बरें करूं.
ही कोंकणी ग्लोबल कोंकणी फोरमाच्या अंडर आमी परत एक चड सुरू केल्या जायतो वर्सां जालीं. ही रोमी लिपीक लागून आमी देवनागरी लिपी बराबरूच आमकां दर्जो दिवचो म्हणून, कित्याक जायते भुरगे आनी जायतो आमचो गोंयचो लोक ही रोमी लिपी सोंपेपणी समजता आनी बरोवंक आनी वाचूंक तांकां येता. तांचे खातीर आमी आमची ही चळवळ आनी आमकां सगल्यांचो सांगात मेळटलो म्हणून आमी समजतात. आयज आमकां बाब उल्हास तुयेंकार आमचो नावेलींचो आमदार ताणें बरें उतर दिलां. तशेंच फुडाराकूय हेर MLA उरल्यात तांचे कडेनूय आमकां बरें उतर मेळटलें म्हणून आमी रावतात.
ग्लोबल कोंकणी फोरम तेंच्यांनी आज आमचे सगळे जाण भाव येयले आमचे आनी तेंच्यांनी जे कितें रिप्रेझेंटेशन दिलां की कोंकणी ही रोमी जो तुमी जावपा जाय खातीर आनी तेंची ती चळवळ आहा ते चळवळीन तेंच्यांनी सगळ्या आमदारांक तेंच्यांनी कॉन्टॅक्ट केला. सो हांवूय एक नावेलीचो आमदार ह्या नात्यान जे कितें तेंच्यान दिलां ते आमच्या CMा पर्यंत पावपाचो प्रयत्न करतलो आनी आमचो तुमकां सदांच सपोर्ट आसतलो, कारण आमचे गोंयची भास जावं ती रोमी लिपी ही दोनूय भास आमच्यो जर उरतले जाल्यार आमी सदांच ते मुखार हाडपाचो प्रयत्न करपाक जाय आनी हांव त्या बाबतींत CMा कडेन उलयतलो.
The severe condition of garbage menace at the Bali Panchayat has sparked concerns amongst the residents, as the Panchayat has dumped the collected garbage in the premise of the government school, posing significant health risks. The garbage, which includes medical waste, is not only affecting the public space, but also historical monuments and common areas like toilets, further raising speculations on the role of the Panchayat in cleaning the village. The claim that the garbage is being taken to the Kurchore garbage treatment plant seems dubious if it's still covered with grass and remains on site.
आमी जेन्ना पंचायतीक वयता तेन्ना पळयतात की थंय व्हडले व्हडले पोस्टर लायलेले आसतात, बॅनर्स लायलेले असतात, ते स्वच्छ भारत नितळ गोंय. पूण आतां तुमकां हांव दाखयता बाळ्ळी पंचायतीक जे कचरो जो आसा तो कलेक्शन करतात आनी पळयात ही परिस्थिती आसा. ही स्टेज आसा थंय कचऱ्याच्यो पोटली ज्यो आसा त्यो उडयल्ले आसात आनी हितून भितर जी मेडिकल वेस्ट आसा ही निसांवां जावं ह्या वखदाच्यो बाटल्यो कोवच्यो सगळ्यो अश्यो उडयल्ल्यो आसात. ह्यो पळयात. आनी ह्या सायडीच्यान अशी शाळा आसा तेकोन आनी शाळा बंद आसा. आतां चालू आसले जाल्यार कितें हाल जाताले तें खंय तरी चिंतपाची गोश्ट आसा. आनी ही जी वाट आसा ती पळयात लोकांची चलत येवपा वचपाची वाट आसा. आतां सपोज इनिसांव सपोज कोणाच्या पांयाक टोपलें जाल्यार कितें जातलें तेंय बी चिंतपाची गरज आसा. आनी हेकाच तेकोन ते मोन्युमेंट आसा हे पळयात जे पयलींचे जे एक मोन्युमेंट आसा ते हांगा आसा आनी तेजे मुळाकूच सगळो कचरो जो आसा हो उडयल्लो आसा. हे पळयात सगळो कचरो जो आसा हांगा रास मारलेले आसा. आनी हेय पळयात ह्यो ज्यो म्हाज्या फाटल्यान तुमकां 2 टॉयलेटी दिसतात त्यो टॉयलेटी भितर कचरो जो आसा हो सारको गच्च भरून दवरलेलो आसा. आतां पळोवंक शकता तेजे दार जे आसा मातशें ओपन आसा ते खातीर हो कचरो दिसता. आतां हे खंय तरी लोकांक फोटोवपा खातीर लोकांक दिसों जायना हे खातीर कचरो भरून दवरला काय कितें असो एक मोठो प्रश्न उबो रावता. तशेंच आतां तुमकां दुसरें दाखयता जी पंचायतीची जी सायड आसा पंचायतीक ती दाखयता. ही पळयात. आतां हो एक गॅप आसा आनी हांगा सगळो जो कचरो आसा तितलो स्टोर करून दवरला. हो दिसता पंचायतीची जी सेक्रेटरी आसा ती म्हणटा हांगा 4 दिसांनी कलेक्शन करता. पूण हो जो कचरो पळयलो जाल्यार हांगा केन्नाच कलेक्शनच केलें ना अशें दिसून येता. आतां ही पळयात अशी परिस्थिती पंचायतीची आसा. आतां हांगचो जो कचरो आसा हो कुरचड्यार जे गार्बेज ट्रिटमेंट प्लांट आसा थंय व्हरतात म्हणटा. पूण हे सगळे जी वेस्ट आसा तेजे पासून जे लोक हांगा येता वयतात तांकां खंय तरी डेंजरस आसा आनी खंय तरी हेर कचऱ्या पासून लोक दुयेंतीय पडोंक शकता. हेराल्ड TV खातीर गौरे सतरकर.
That's all we have in 3 News Bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news and alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and X. Take care and goodbye.